I have a great idea.
But I'll
Never do it. It might happen. Sure, the monkey's right flat on my butt. I don't think so.
I don't see it happening.
Hey, everyone. It's
Hey,
me,
hey,
your
hey.
bud, John.
And me, your bud, Louise.
And we're your buds. And we're coming to you on another episode of I Have a Great Idea, but I'll never do it.
Do it. It's been a hot second.
Well, it's been a hot second. It's been many hot seconds for you and me. But for the listening audience, it's been less hot seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Because we recorded one, and it took me a long time to be able to, like, edit and get it out. Because
The holidays.
Because the holidays. Because sick babies. She's fine. She's totally fine.
Yeah.
But, like, babies get sick
Yeah.
every 2 seconds.
Well, they're trying to live.
Their bodies are just trying to figure out what to do with every single situation.
Yeah.
Because it's their first times with
Yeah.
everything. And if anybody listened to the previous episode, I had zilch ideas. I had nothing. This time, I got plenty.
Woo!
So, you know, it's one of those, like, when it rains, it pours situation. And, like, I was in a drought, and then, like, it came in hot and heavy.
I like it. I'm excited.
Yeah. Did you have a fruitful idea holiday?
I think I did. I don't know the practicality or the science
Okay.
behind my ideas, but I had them.
Okay.
Do
Well,
you want me to go first?
please.
Okay. I would like there to be, I don't know what I'm calling it, but like CVS, not to be confused with the pharmacy, or like AVS, standing for Cartoon Voice Shazam or
Okay.
Animated Voice Shazam, because you can hold up your Shazam to music and it says what the song is and the artist remarkably. And I listened to a different podcast about how they do that, and it has something to do with up and down, not pitch, not like it's something to do. The algorithm is like up and down, but not musically like pitch.
Cool.
But I was watching a movie, and I'll just tell you, it was The Big Sick. And I was like, oh my God, that actress. Oh my God, that voice. And I Googled the actress, and I was like, okay, it's Holly Hunter from Broadcast News, which I recently saw because I was, what movies are leaving HBO and what great movies have I seen? But I was like, that's not it. And I was like racking my brain as I'm still trying to pay attention to the movie because I was at home, not in a theater or cinema. And I was like, oh, what is it? And then boom, crash, lightning, light bulb.
Kazowie.
She's Elastigirl in The Incredibles.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I needed a Shazam specifically for her voice to tell me what animated voice she was.
Well,
Cut to,
Oh, what?
I'm watching the Golden Globes, and I'm like seeing a commercial for a different show that's like about to premiere, and I hear a voice, and I'm like, oh my God, I need this app. It's Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Whoa.
And her name's Mae Whitman, but now she's on a
Mae
show.
Whitman.
Oh, yeah. See, okay. But
She's
like,
on Arrested Development, or was on Arrested Development. She...
No.
Yeah. Mae Whitman?
Mae Whitman, but she wasn't, what's the girl's name? Maybe.
She was Anne.
Yes. Okay. No, you're right. Now it's coming back to me.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not maybe. Okay, I got it. No, you're right. Totally. She was
Right.
on Arrested Development. But that's not animated.
Correct. But it seems like a function that should be in the like IMDb app. like a Shazam for movies and TV. I mean, commercials are one thing, but like for movies and TV where, it recognizes the up and down or whatever it is, and it has all of the like movies and TV shows that have been out for a certain amount of time like logged in there, and then it'll pull up their page and it'll have their list of credits.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. As I was watching The Big Sick and was like, who's in this cast? And Googled the mom and was like, oh, Holly Hunter, broadcast news. Okay, because I had recently seen that. But I could have just scrolled.
Yeah.
And seen Elastigirl in The Incredibles. I just didn't. And that's a great idea.
I love Holly Hunter. She has the greatest, most distinct voice.
Yeah.
It is so uniquely Holly Hunter.
Yes. So CVS, AVS, we need it.
AVS.
Animated voice Shazam? I don't know.
Yeah, CVS can be a little confusing.
I know.
Yeah. But CVS, yeah. I'm trying to think, do I have anything
That
similar?
segues?
Not necessarily. All right. Give me a number between 1 and 4.
4.
Okay. So I had this one yesterday, and this is a YouTube channel that tells you the best way to do anything. And it's kind of like, like Sweet Home or the Wirecutter, where it's like products where it's like we tested these 5 things that are said to be the best. This is how we did it. This is what we used. And this is how we came to our results. There needs to be that. And I think it would be great for it to be a YouTube channel for just like your everyday things. And I'll tell you why I had thought of this, because we always show our work. And our show our work, that leads us to not actually doing any work. Every day when I make coffee, I have this wet filter with wet grounds in it. And I don't want to put it in the compost bin because the compost bags are super thin and it just like slimes its way through and makes a hole in the bag. And then it's disgusting. And then it's like I have to use another bag and it's a whole thing. So recently started putting the compost thing in the freezer.
I'm giving you the thumbs up because we put our coffee grounds in the freezer.
Yeah, my friends Leela and Ryan, who listens to the show sometimes, they do that. And I was like, cool idea. But I think that because of the way things freeze up in a freezer, it makes the bag fill up a lot faster because stuff isn't like spreading out as much. So I'm less inclined to do that. And then I just end up like throwing it in the trash, which I know it's like there are worse things like coffee grounds and a, very thin, wet filter. They're going to decompose pretty quickly. But like what I really want to know is the best way to dry wet coffee grounds. That's what I really want to know. Like, is there some magic trick where like, microwave it for 10 seconds and then all of a sudden you just have like a little puck or like something like that? I don't know. I don't know. I just need to know the best way. So I think that there needs to be some sort of YouTube channel that they test out the best ways of doing your everyday things.
I like it.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you were just like, what's the best way to, I don't know, give my dog a bath. I want to just see like the best way. I'm curious to know like what other ways they've tried, but I want to know where they landed on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll now put a check mark next to my note that says the best way YouTube channel. Check.
Check.
Yeah. Do you have anything in your life that you are just like, what do I do? Like, what am I missing here? What does everybody else do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't just have this idea, but I also didn't write it down as an idea. But similarly to where you want there to be a YouTube channel about easy everyday things, I want there to be either, I don't know, a Pinterest page that I can follow or Instagram full of information. I don't know, because I need it to be searchable. But I will look at, we'll say, a vacation destination and think, ooh, I gotta like get there for those pictures because I would like to see that really cool natural wonder or whatever. But I'm looking at a picture and I'm like, what time of day was this taken? Or like, what season was this?
Okay.
And I think it was 2 years ago that I had taught a class, soups early in the morning. I was done at 6:30 and came home, took the dog for a walk, and had walked around the turtle pond in Central Park to the perfect place where the sun, which comes up in the east, was reflecting against the San Remo building in the most golden, like beautiful, I don't know how else to describe it. It was just golden and very reflective. It's a stone building, by the way. It's not a glass building, if anybody didn't know. And I took a picture of it and, you know, tagged it like San Remo and Central Park and I Love My City and New York City and whatever. I just tagged it. And I think I got about 10 questions from people that I don't know on Instagram. Where in the park were you standing? What time of day did you take this? Because it says, you know, like picture taken September 16th, but it doesn't say the time of day. Now maybe, or let's say you want to go to the Grand Canyon and you're like, oh, do I go in March or do I go in September? Because I have vacation on both of these times, and if I go at sunrise in September, I'll get a picture that looks like this one. I don't know. That seems really involved and kind of.
Well, here's what you do.
But I want somebody, either a YouTube channel or a Pinterest board, to tell me, for this experience, this is when it happens. Right.
So for photographs, for digital photographs, if you have like the native photo, or even I think it even stores the information if like you doctor the photo, maybe not if you're doing it like on an app. I don't know if it still stores that data, but there's EXIF data. And what that has is the exact time that it was taken. It tells you the camera, the lens, the aperture, everything about how that photo is taken. And
what if you don't have the native?
If you don't have the native, then you know.
Yeah, there needs to be.
Well, if you don't have the native, then what you can do is, if you don't have the native, in what way?
Like, let's say, for instance, I'm on Pinterest and I'm like, ooh, that's a really, really good picture of Bryce Canyon.
Yeah.
I want to go to Bryce Canyon now.
So what you can do.
I don't know, the pyramids who were like, this is where the stars were aligned, like some sort of.
If the particular photo does not have that information, then you can do a reverse Google image search.
Ooh,
have you ever done that?
No.
Do you know how?
No.
You
can teach me later, or you can teach me now. I'm really excited.
Go to images.google.com, and in the search bar, you'll see that there's a picture of, I think it's like a camera, and you have an option to upload a photo. You upload a photo, and it shows you all the other places where you can find that photo. It'll also show you similar images.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if I'm on Pinterest, then do I download the picture of Bryce Canyon to then upload it to Google?
Yeah, drag it onto your desktop or whatever.
Cool.
Yeah, so what you can do, and depending on the camera the photo is taken on, it might be able to geotag it and give you a pretty precise location. Like, I don't know if it'll give it down to like the square inch, but you know, the general area of like where it was taken. Because like with your phone that uses GPS, like GPS is just always on. So there are apps where you can view EXIF data, and it's pretty interesting.
Cool. Well, then I need to do that.
Yeah. Please keep me posted about what your findings are, but it's EXIF. And there are lots of like online EXIF viewers that are free and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool. But yeah,
I mean, I knew exactly where I
information.
was standing and exactly what time I took the picture
Sure.
and everything. So I was able to just like reply to these strangers on
Right.
Instagram. Like if you just go on this path, like out of this place, and it was this time of day, and it says like, September or whatever it said.
Instagram is a little trickier because it's not like you can just grab the photo from it and get the information, because it's like kind of putting it into its own ecosystem, and it's almost just like making a photocopy of it where it's not going to have all that information. Anyway, this was a little nerd pocket. But yeah, there are all these things that we are always doing and thinking of that we're just thinking there must be a better way. How do people do this?
Or I want to know also, like similarly to when pictures are taken to take a picture, like I want to know when is the best time to travel to a particular place.
Right.
Per like season, but not, I don't know. I guess it just depends too on like how people vacation. I would rather go and be a little colder with less people than like the best time to visit Walt Disney World is in August, or, I don't know. Cause then you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
there's going to be too many kids not in school here.
Right. Seriously. So I know that we like just did one of my ideas, but I have something that's like kind of related to, it's related to travel. I will say that.
Okay.
Should we just go down that path?
Yes, because then I have an idea related to travel. So let's go down that path.
Well, why don't you go first with your travel idea?
Okay. This idea, like all my ideas, is going to start with a story. Once I went home to visit Mare in Iowa. Shout out Mare. And
Hey, Mare.
I think I was just harumphing on life big time and was like, harumph. So I put into my tiny purse my iPad, 4 pairs of underwear, 2 pairs of socks, and I went to the airport. I was like, I'm not doing this. I was like, anything I need when I get home, air quotes home, I can go to a Walgreens and buy. If I need shampoo
Or a
for
CVS.
or a CVS. For whatever
The
reason, if my
aforementioned
mom
CVS.
doesn't have contact solution, shampoo, whatever, I'm just going to go buy it because I'm not packing it. And then the second thing I thought was, I'm going home. I don't care about impressing anyone. There's nothing to do. Well, this was for like Thanksgiving. So the whole point was that like I was going to go home and then sit at my house and then people were going to come visit. But I was like, I'm not packing. I'm too tired of life. Bah, 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 bah. It was one of the best decisions I ever made.
I like that.
I basically wore the same outfit for 4 days straight, changed my underwear and socks, and I think I did put my jeans through the wash at my mom's house once. And even that felt excessive. So the idea is called Vacation in a Box. You go to your little website, vacationinabox.com or whatever. I don't know. That's not really a website. And you say, like, I'm going to Tulum, Mexico. And I'm a size extra small. And I'd like flip-flops, a beach cover-up, and like a hat, a sun hat, or whatever. Sunscreen of like, one of these different brands or whatever. And you send the box, or the service sends the box to wherever you're going, your hotel or your Airbnb, and you get on the plane.
Or Mare's house.
And you get on the plane with your carry-on, but not your carry-on, all of your stuff, but like a personal item, like your purse with your iPad,
Right.
And then you get there and everything's there. And then you pack it up and they like either come pick it up like UPS or you bring it to a UPS or whatever.
Or there could be drop like boxes at the airport or something.
Yes. Because I am about to go on a ski trip. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
where are you going?
Camelback.
Oh, okay. So a local ski trip.
Yeah. It's like 2 hours outside of New York.
Right.
The Poconos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to get on a bus with like all these layers. And recently I went to a bar mitzvah and did Rent the Runway. Those not familiar, it's a like rental service for dresses because who's got the money to buy $500 plus dresses for every single event that they have to go to? So you basically rent the dress for like $30. They ship it to you. You have it for 4 days. You put it in a garment bag. You ship it back. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. That way you're not wearing the same dress to 5 different cousins' weddings.
Right.
Whatever. You look cute. It fits well enough. You send it back. Look, it works for me.
Fits well enough.
Whatever. Like if it was going to be my dress, I'd have it tailored, but it's not mine, and I'm wearing it for one day and whatever, it's fine. And I was like, I need this for vacations. I need this to be like, I need like fleece pants. I need pajamas to be there when I get there. I need 2 layers of ski socks just in case one gets wet or whatever.
Right.
You just stuff that is going to be good enough. Because sometimes when you go skiing, because equipment is expensive also, and who's got space to store it, you're renting the skis, the poles, the helmet, the snowboard. You're renting that stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So I'd also like to rent Gore-Tex mittens that cost $90 that
You'll
don't want to spend.
need them once a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vacation in a box.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And then when you're done, you pack it up, you send it back.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's do it. Just kidding. We have too much going on. We can barely record. Well, okay. We bit off so much more than we can chew by doing a second podcast.
Yes.
But like we love it so much that it's worth it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
If you haven't listened to Louise It to Beaver and you are perhaps interested in anything in the world of Leave It to Beaver, or you like hearing the way that we talk to each other, check it out. I feel like we are maybe ruffling a few feathers in the Leave It to Beaver fandom community, but that's okay. I don't know, because I listen to, I read some of the things that they say on like the Facebook fan club page, and it's like, oh, they see this world very differently from the way we see it. Like a lot of them are just like, this is the way wholesome life should be, and blah 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 blah. And we're just talking about all the problems that there are with this world that they're living in. And like we're like, Eddie Haskell's a jerk. And they're just like, Eddie Haskell's so funny. And I'm like, he's a jerk. Anyway, if anybody from that community is listening to this show, thanks for listening. And we like you a lot. No, but that's the point, is that, you know, it's an open dialogue and this is just our perspective. But anyway, we also have great ideas that we're never going to do, and that's what this show is about. By the way, if any of you want to share some of the things, your everyday life things that you want to see a video about how to do the best way, email us at greatideapod@gmail.com. Call us 304-804-IDEA. If you have any ideas of your own, call 304-804-IDEA, and we will leave a voicemail. We'll play it on the show and we'll talk about it. Maybe something that we're saying brings up an idea that you have. I don't know. What's up?
Or if you're microphone shy and you don't want your voice on our podcast,
right,
email us your idea.
greatideapod@gmail.com.
There you go.
Yeah. So my travel idea is speaking about, okay, this is flowing perfectly, but speaking about doing extra podcasts that you don't have time for. It's an idea for a travel podcast that, of course, I would want to do with you. And I know. And I do have a friend who is a travel writer, and I feel like it'd be perfect to do it with him too. But it is called By the Hour, and it is traveling around, I'll say the country, probably maybe the world, but going to by the hour hotels, which have a bit of a reputation. I won't, either you know it or you don't. By the hour hotels and doing like we have like lavalier microphones clipped to us. We're recording as we're walking. Like, it is just the unedited account of us going to the hotel, renting a room for an hour, and going in there, and for the next hour, or if we get skeeved out too early, then however long that is, our moment-to-moment account of this by-the-hour hotel room. And, I'm not saying that it's necessarily like a going in there with black lights situation. This isn't MTV's Room Raiders, but it's, by-the-hour hotels, to me, I feel like they're not going to go the extra mile the way that a lot of your Marriotts or even Holiday Inn Expresses will go to. But I feel like it could be interesting. And also it's just like seeing what the world is like in these little hour-by-hour fragments.
That is interesting. I was also going to say, like, there could even be, like, because my mind works this way and I vacation in this way, I'm like, ooh, but an hour-by-hour hotel would be like soup's amazing in case you were up at 5 a.m. and you've been, walking around all day and you just need a quick disco nap before dinner. And I'm like, well, then I would be sleeping during this part of the podcast. But
Right. I mean, but maybe this is taking place like at a time where it's like you need a quick disco nap. So while you are taking your disco nap, like, I could be going around and like checking out other stuff. And then when you get up 20 minutes later, you're just like, okay, this bed smells like duty and I couldn't get any sleep because all I was thinking about is like a murder that may have taken place here. And it's like all that kind of stuff. So that's my thought about that one.
cool. I like it.
I don't know. We'll never do it.
No. Someone
But
should,
y'all
though.
should, listeners. Just saying.
I have one more idea that I feel like I'd like to share.
Okay, let's
It's
hear it.
not going to relate to travel.
Okay.
I mean, maybe. No, it doesn't. We've just come off the holidays. I happen to be a kind of person who does my shopping between Labor Day and Thanksgiving. Like, I want to be done usually by Halloween with gifts for people so that I can just have them and not think. Because
Ooh, that reminds me. There's a Christmas gift for you in the mail. Let me see.
And we need
you
to
get
talk
it?
about this. Well,
Did you
I
get
didn't
it?
get it from you. I got it from Tiger Fafara.
Oh, that's right. Tiger Fafara plays Tui Brown on Leave It to Beaver.
And back in time travel happened, but he sent me an amazing gift and I played with it on Wednesday and I have to tell you all about it. But let me get this idea out.
Okay.
When it gets closer and closer and closer and closer to the time of gift giving, people are like, what should I get people? And then do internet searching. In any case, Chris and I came across this device at
Crisscross. Go ahead.
Bed Bath & Beyond, and it's like a little needle that pokes into your wine cork and then extracts the wine out of it, and then the needle comes back out and the cork heals itself.
Huh.
So you're not opening the bottle of wine to, if you're one I mean, who doesn't finish the bottle? But some people don't finish the bottle. And then the wine, kind of goes bad in a couple of days or whatever. But it's just like if you, or, you live in a household where the wife always wants white and the man always wants red, or vice versa. In any case, this sort of eliminates that problem of opening the bottle because it's not really open and then air never touches the wine because of this like tiny thing and whatever. I want this technology for tomatoes. Because if a little device can like prick through the skin of a tomato and then give me a thumbs up, I'm going to eat it.
Oh,
And
okay.
if it pricks the skin and gives me a thumbs down, then I'm going to leave it. I was eating these cherry tomatoes recently and was like, pop, excellent. Pop, And then I had to think, is it worth it for me to try another cherry tomato? So then I'd pop one in and it would be another stinker. And I'm like, why is it such a crapshoot? It's the same container of tomatoes. If only there were a way for somebody to tell me if this is good or bad. And I don't know if it's genetically engineered that they're all the same color and they all have the same firmness of squishiness or whatever. But I could not tell.
I'm looking for
After
something.
about 3 tomatoes, I was like, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
A bad one is bad.
I'm looking for something right now on. No, it's not on Kickstarter anymore.
Tomato tester.
Hold on one second.
Because here's the thing. When a cherry tomato is good, they're so good.
So, I agree.
But when
I'm
it's
normally
bad,
not like crazy about them, but like sometimes I have a good one. I'm just like, wow, why am I not eating these all the time?
Yes.
Okay, I can't find the article, but there's at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, which just happened a few weeks ago. There was a list of products that are actually currently available, and this was one of them. It was a Kickstarter, and it is essentially like a big pen, and you hold it up to items, and I think I don't know how it does it, but one of the things it does, like it can check the authenticity of like a gemstone, or it can test like if a certain medication is counterfeit or authentic. I don't know. It's weird. But one of the things is it can test the freshness of foods. Yes. I will find this for you. I know that it was a Kickstarter thing. Oh, I emailed them. Did I? Because I emailed them to see if it can detect ingredients in food so you can detect allergens. Oh my God, it's driving me crazy. I know that I can find this. I know that if I type in like gluten in my email, maybe I can find it. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is such bad radio or whatever you want to call it. Why can't I find anything right now? Let's see. Gluten. GLUTEN.
well, we can just sort of brainstorm names while you're looking. It can be
It's called Link Square.
Link Square.
Yes, and this is a shout out to Link Square. They told me that they don't currently have the ability to test for food allergens, but it's like that would be the perfect use for this food. But I know that they can test like certain types of fish, like freshness or whatever. At linksquare.io. I will also be giving them a shout out on social media because this is a thing. But yeah, it's this like little device I'm holding.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Louise and I record in 2 different places. I'm in Portland, Oregon, and Louise is in New York. So a lot of what I'm doing is like holding my phone up to the camera so that she can see what I'm talking about here. But yeah, it's like it uses infrared stuff and has to do with colors and wavelengths and all sorts of stuff like that. And there's a basic edition and then an enterprise edition that ensures material or product authenticity. So, and I believe it's a South Korean company. Anyway, Link Square, way to go on having an idea and following through. And I look forward to seeing what happens with you guys in the future. Because this could be like a really cool thing. And maybe you can hold it up to a cherry tomato. It would be kind of weird. Like, oh, I'm going to go eat a handful of cherry tomatoes. Let me go get my Link Square and like hold it up to each and every one, but like, you know what? If you want to get a perfect cherry tomato every time,
And
that
here's the
might be
thing.
your best bet.
When they're bad, it like ruins it for me. It's the bad apple in the barrel thing. It's like I might have a whole bowl of them and I'll have 2 in a row that are really good and I'll have one
Right.
bad one and I'll be like, ugh, is it worth it?
That's why I don't eat raisins anymore. I had a box with like when I was a kid with like a bad raisin in it, and it's turned me off from raisins for like my entire life.
And raisins are delicious and super good for you.
Well, I'll never know. It's been like 30 years since I've had one. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I've got 2 more on my list. Why don't I do one of them and then I'll save the other one for the next time?
Okay.
I keep on teeing up that I'm going to have an idea that is baby related because I have one of those, but I have one that is connected to that I'm actually going to save. The other one that I do want to mention is it's addressing an issue that I have with kitchens. I find kitchen cabinetry, no matter how sleek looking it is or whatever, it's all really ugly looking. I want walls or I want windows. I don't want these wooden or metal things just to be hanging there. It's a hazard and it's an eyesore. I'm sorry. But I think that there's and another thing is refrigerators. They are all basically the same shape. The same, even if they're like French doors or like the top and bottom thing, they're all essentially the same. It's opening up a door and reaching into this thing. Now, there are also like those ice boxes that, people put in like their garages or their basements or whatever that kind of open from the top and you reach in and grab stuff. So I have an idea that's kind of a hybrid of all that stuff. And I realize that this is going to pose an issue of kitchen storage. But if you have a big enough space, this could work. But it is essentially part of your kitchen countertop. It is a refrigerator. And this could also be like cabinet storage and stuff. But it's basically, it would lift up from the ground like on a smooth track or something like that. I don't know, maybe motorized hydraulics. I don't know. I'm not the inventor here, but it comes up. It's all on the ground. It comes up so that it's kind of at like eye level or reachable level. So you don't have to like bend over unless you want to just like bend over. But it's a refrigerator that is essentially like ends at the countertop. You open it up down at the bottom. And it's, instead of tall, it's wide. You see what I'm saying? Same thing can happen with kitchen cabinetry where it's like it's all kind of part of the counter and then a part of it kind of comes up and you can get what you need rather than having to bend over.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm like imagining sort of like a dumbwaiter, but it disappears. It's like the floor is the floor, and then you pick up.
No, not. It's all part of like, that could be an interesting thing if you have the ability to go underneath your floor and like lift up, and then that's reveal new stuff. I'm thinking like one of those like standing desks that starts off regular desk level, and then like you lift it up and then you're all of a sudden like higher up. So it's like it stays at one level and then you just like kind of lift it from the bottom. But I like the idea of it kind of going beneath the floor. Granted, you need to have the ability to make that happen, which might not be possible for most people.
Right. Or like if the handle's on the top of it, you don't want to trip in the middle of the night when you're
right. Or it could be like a secret hidden handle kind of thing.
Or like folds down. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I mean, as you were talking about your frustrations with that being an eyesore and all this other stuff, I was like, yeah. Well, I was on board with all of that. I was like, no matter how they try to do it with whatever colors, with whatever, you're right. I want a window. And I got this
Well,
like massive
also,
stuff.
yeah, also, we're living in a time when there are tons of natural disasters, hurricanes, earthquakes, you name it, they happen. And all of these things can cause like stuff to hit your house or your apartment building. And then if that happens, it can cause all of the glasses to fall out of your kitchen cabinets. And that creates another issue of safety. So why have all that stuff in the air?
Why have it in the air?
Put it in the floor.
Yeah. I like it.
Thank you. It'll never happen.
No. I mean, not for us. Unless,
No. It's,
yeah.
it's the kitchen of the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I got for that. Shall we, let's see, we're at 40 minutes. Why don't we move on to challenges?
Okay.
Okay. Why don't you go first? I forget what I challenged you to.
I had to accept the challenge of bed skirts.
Oh, right. Ugh, bed skirts.
Ugh. So I didn't have as many ideas.
You only have to have one.
That's true. So one of the ideas was that instead of it being like a lacy doily thing that you always imagine a bed skirt to be
Right.
traditionally, it's like blinds
Huh,
to
cool.
keep the dust out. And then if you
Yeah.
need to see under it, you just like turn it so you can see through it like blinds. And then if you need to clean under it, you like pull the little cord and it lifts up. So blinds instead of a skirt.
Cool.
Also, while talking to Mare, she told me that the reason that bed skirts happened in the first place was obviously to hide what was under the bed, but we had posed the question, why are the beds up so high?
Yeah.
And she said the answer was that a lot of times in older constructed buildings where the floor was maybe concrete, say like in a castle or, old-timey stone, and the architecture wasn't as flush because the technology wasn't as good, that there would be spaces under the doors, and it would make a draft because like you didn't have like the as clean of a press, I don't know what I'm trying to say, threshold, I guess, or as secure of a closure. So drafts would go in, and if the bed was too low, when the draft flushed in under the door and hit the side of the bed, like properties of whatever I'm trying to say, physics, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but it would come under the door and then hit the bed and come up. So it would make you like a lot colder. Whereas if you raised the bed, then the draft would just come under the door and then under the bed.
Got it.
And then as time went on and bed frames were made higher, then you thought, oh, this is an eyesore when we moved on from castles and whatever.
Well,
Anyway,
and some people think that the higher up the bed is, the more luxurious it
the closer to God.
is. That could be a thing too.
Just kidding. Okay. So that was useful information. Thanks, Mare.
Thanks, Mare. Mare is Louise's mom, by the way, for anybody just tuning in.
She's the soup school lady.
Yeah. She has been on this program.
Oh, and I want her to be on again because when
Yes.
Mare was on before, it was the Olympic bonus episode. And for
Right.
anyone keeping score, guess what's coming up in a mere couple of weeks?
In a mere couple of weeks.
Whoa!
Hey. All right. Yeah. Oh my God. Is she coming out?
Well, I don't know if she's coming out, but maybe we could set her up with a Skype and we could three-way Skype
Oh
it.
man, that sounds complicated.
East Coast, Midwest, West Coast.
Wow.
Yeah. Or
That's
she
a lot
could come
of
out and visit. I
coordinating.
don't know. Okay, so next idea. Make it more like fashion so that you have like a tulle skirt, like a tutu. Like it's your bed is now like you change it with the day.
Right.
And then the third idea I had about it was maybe the skirt is made of like Swiffer magnetic dust fabric so that all
interesting.
of the dust bunnies go, I got to get on that skirt. And then you just take it off, and it's either
peel it off.
disposable or it's washable. But you know the fluffy Swiffer
Yeah.
fabric that I'm talking about?
It's kind of like the feather duster thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way, if dust is rolling around on your floor, it doesn't collect under the bed. It like attracts to the skirt. And then when you take it off, then you don't have to additionally dust because it's already trapped in there.
Right. Cool. I like it.
Thanks.
The challenge that you gave me was assisted living programming. Outreach was the word you used.
Program. No, whatever. Either.
Yeah. So I was having a little trouble coming up with something fun until recently I found out that my almost 92-year-old grandmother, she doesn't live in assisted living. She lives in a retirement community right now. But she has been writing movie reviews for the facilities newsletter. Just gonna say they're hilarious. And it got me thinking a little bit more about outreach, because outreach means, things that they can do as a community that not only helps other people, but also helps themselves, gets them out, gets them involved. So I was thinking, okay, who has strong opinions about things? My grandmother. Who says the darndest things? My grandmother. Who else has opinions about things and says the darndest things? Kids. So I want to see a YouTube channel where assisted living facilities meet up with, let's say, kindergartners, first graders, and they get matched up and they do like movie reviews together.
Yes.
It's a Siskel and Ebert situation that crosses generational boundaries.
Yes. I can just see it now. Like something, a PBS special about the War of 1812 and, like an old man like Bart Simpson's grandpa being like, I loved it, blah, 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 and this was very informational. And the kindergartner being like, boring.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I like it. Do they watch
That'd be
it together
fun, right?
and then review it together?
I would think so.
That's fun
I would
too,
think
because
so.
then it gets tiny kids into nursing homes and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
I think
would
it's
have been
good for
really
everybody.
beneficial for me because old people scared me when I was tiny.
Oh, really? Yeah, but if you were watching The Lion King together, it might be a little different.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, challenges for the next episode. Do you have something for me?
I don't right now, but I feel like I can.
Oh, okay. All right. So mine for you is, it's going off of what we were just talking about a few minutes ago. Kitchen storage. We'll just go with kitchen storage.
Okay.
Keep it vague. You can take that however you want.
Okay. For you.
I know I didn't give you much time.
Yeah, no, that's okay because this was actually my problem when the episode started. I was like, I don't have a challenge. And I thought, well, one will come. Let's keep it in the kitchen. Let's say like servingware.
Servingware.
Or what is that called? Not utensils but plates and bowls and
Yeah.
serving?
Yeah. Servingware, plates, bowls, the like. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just want
Okay.
an idea about that.
No problem. Like we said earlier, if you have ideas, if you have suggestions for us or requests for an idea about a topic, let us know. The phone number is 304-804-IDEA. Leave a voicemail. email us greatideapod@gmail.com. We're on social media at Great Idea Pod. We have a Patreon page, and you can get some fun stuff from us. And it's just for some donations to help keep us going. And honestly, we're not asking for all that much even. And you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Sure do. Special gift, even.
Special, yeah.
Depending on your contribution.
Which even the highest contribution gets you the grand prize. You have to go to Patreon. I think it might even be patreon.com/greatideapod. I'm not positive, but go check it out. Thank you so much for listening to us.
Yeah.
Rate us and review us on iTunes.
Tell a friend about us. Listen to our other podcasts.
Tell an enemy about us and be like, yeah, I don't think that you'd be laughing at me and being a bully if you listen to I have a great idea, but I'll never do it. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah, or just say like, you know what? I'm not going to tell on you. I'm not going to tell the teacher. I'm not going to tell my mom on you. I'm going to call 304-804 idea, and I'm going to have them come up with an idea of how I can get you back.
Yes. Cyberbullying.
You're outsourcing your bullying, your reverse bullying to us. Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. But, you know.
But I would have a good time
whatever.
coming up with a creative way to, like,
to
make
tell
someone
kids
else
what
feel
they
empowered.
definitely shouldn't do. Definitely don't do this to get back at your bully. Definitely don't. Yeah. Hey, Louise, a pleasure as always.
Yes. Thank you for hanging out.
Do you want to talk about what Tiger Fafara sent you?
Oh, briefly, yes. Tiger Fafara sent me a board game, card game, dice game, interactive game, Legends of the Hidden Temple. And let me just say, weekly I have a standing friend date where a group of us get together and play games. And so this week I was like, you guys! And what's extra special, funny, is that one of the friends has a gig, or had a gig, with Nickelodeon where he dressed up as a temple guard and went around to the office cubicles of the people at Nickelodeon and like jumped out at them a la temple guard style. So it added an extra layer. And for those of you that don't know, I have a Blue Barracudas t-shirt based from participation in a traveling game from this. So it's just very near and dear and special to me. So we all started playing. I think there were 8 of us. So there were.
Is it any good?
Well, let me tell you. Getting through the directions is a game in itself. Like you have to really focus. And I think there's also a card that came with the game that said, if you don't want to read all these directions, watch this YouTube video about teaching you how to play. And we were all like, well, we can read the directions.
Yeah.
And that
Cut
just
to, you're watching the video?
Took longer. No, we should have. We said a million times, should we just watch the video? No. So we were reading. It's like the original game starts with, I think, the steps of knowledge. And then you get to see who continues on. And in this game, if you get knocked out early on, you get a role to be either Olmec or the host of the game. So then you're the one. It actually, I think the people that were playing with me were like, what is this? I don't get it. But having participated in it in real life in my younger days and having watched it on television religiously, it's a really, really well-made game.
Oh,
and
good to know.
Really very fun. Some of the people had A, never watched it on Nickelodeon, so they didn't get it. B, like, wanted it to be much more inclusive all around. But there's I feel like there's something for everyone because there's a competitiveness for people who want to keep playing. There's sort of a a strategy element in terms of like listening to the information and then answering the questions. And then there's sort of like a storytelling aspect of it for people who like those kind of games like D&D or whatever.
Sure.
There's lots of little tidbits for everybody. I feel like it would be a really, really good game for families who like to play games.
Cool. I believe that it is a Target exclusive game, so if you're looking for a new game to play, head over to Target.
I had a really, really good time.
Good. So anyway, everybody, thank you for listening.
Until next time, thanks for hanging out with me, Jon.
Thanks for hanging out with me, Louise. See ya.
I don't see it happening.